Hello, 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 and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and tell a friend. All right, y'all, on the docket today, we have Sister Wives, Season 18, Episode 13, The Elephant in the Room. Okay. I'm estimating we sometime in August. I don't know.
I don't know. They were smart this time. They didn't give us a firm date.
I went by how they were dressed and then that 10-month thing because I'm sure that he wasn't visiting her before the meltdown for Christmas.
Right, that's true.
So I'm assuming August. You guys can let us know what month you think we're in. I say August 2022. I know that's very hopeful because I'm trying to push this along, but knowing them, we're probably back in like what, June? I don't know. I don't care. What do you want to talk about, Jamal?
I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. If we're being just completely honest about
What?
the situation, um, okay, here, Debbie, here I found a little something.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so back in August 16th of 2022, the couple shared exciting news that they're expecting twin boys with a fun reveal. Okay, so we actually are in August, according to this People Magazine article.
Okay, so you see, you're smarter
Okay,
than me because I have given up on McKelty as of this episode. So I didn't even bother to Google schmoogle when she did this reveal because I McKelty has tried to put herself across as some sort of bridge and she wants the family to come together, but yet you got a beef with Mary, but you not trying to improve that, but you want the like what part of the family you want to come together. And I wonder why you have a beef with Mary, but your best mom friend Robin can't help you sort that out. I'm just
yeah, that was
saying,
weird.
just let's see who's in the chat today. Hey Sunway, hey Lena, hi Steven. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, oh Lena, I hope you feel better. Oh, don't worry, don't worry. You'll catch up next week once you're feeling better, okay? Um, wait, Steven, you sick too? Oh no. What about Christine's brothers both remembering polygamy being awful, but Christine having no recollection of that? Yeah, I found that strange, but siblings can remember things differently.
Yes.
They could be in the same exact event but remember things completely differently. And I wonder if Christine's childhood was traumatic, but she seemed to like compartmentalize it and put it over there in the corner and just tried to focus on all of the nicer things that she enjoyed. I just wonder because listening to, what was his name? Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Right. Saying that there was so much tension. And she was 5, she said, when her father married the second wife.
Right.
It's still impressionable. Like,
But remember what she always
hmm,
said though. I think when Christine took a more idealized version of polygamy because she said she
hmm,
always wanted to be a third wife at the age of
hmm,
17. So I'm like,
hmm,
okay, you took the most likely, Christine took the more idyllic aspects of plural marriage versus, I guess, the brothers taking a more critical, real approach to it. Like they saw it for what it was. Like this is what we remember and this is how we saw
hmm.
it. Versus Christine,
But
like, oh my god, this is what I want.
also, like, the boys could have been mama's boys. Not saying that they were like that, but
Right,
they're gonna take on more the hurt of their mothers than Christine would. And
right,
Christine says she strategically wanted to be the third wife because she wanted to be the last wife,
right,
but she got displaced by Robin.
right.
Um, let's see. Hi, FM. Sorry I'm late. Since I'm working, I'll probably just be listening. Wanted to like how much. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you, FM.
Excuse me.
Thank you, FM. Let's see who else is in here. Do y'all have any? I love how they won't address the Mary abuse stuff with McKelty, probably because legally it would mean issues for all of the adults. Well, it's the same thing with Janelle not acknowledging that she was married to Mary's brother. She said, "Oh, I was friends with Mary's family." You was married. Y'all glossing over, like, okay. So remember, she was married to Mary's brother for about 3 months or something like that. Did she have an affair with Cody, and was that the cause of her dissolution of her marriage to Mary's brother? And is that why they were clashing? There's a lot of questions I had with the way how she phrased things. And you know I love me some Janelle. But there's some creative storytelling going on here. The fake pillow pregnancy. Oh, they could have left that out. They could have left that out. It just looked very weird and obviously weird. Um, Lena says, but I'm like, it makes me think polygamy or religion was almost Christine's safety blanket that she wrapped around herself to deal with the trauma of her childhood. Interesting. What do you think about that, Jamal?
I mean, it's a possibility because the way she looks at polygamy, like
Mm-hmm.
when she talks about growing up, is very idyllic. It's very like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, was it like I can see what Lena's saying. Like it's her safety net. It's like was she? It gave her something to believe in, basically, to make her be able to deal with some of the things she was going through.
But do you think that they have to kind of brainwash the females? Because they're the ones that are being taken advantage of. Let's just call a thing a thing. In my opinion, I feel like the
Mm.
females in these situations are being taken advantage of. And you got to get to them early and make them think that this is like rainbows and unicorns for them to
Mm.
willingly go into it.
Gotcha. Well, with the men, with the boys, you're like, okay, this is how it really is. This is what you got to do. Keep the women in line, basically.
Uh-huh.
I can see that side too.
You know,
Both are very good points.
it's just very, very, very weird. That whole setup. Hi, Rodney. Um,
So this okay, y'all. This was
uh-huh,
a nothing burger episode from my standpoint.
uh-huh.
We might as well just go scene by scene and get up out of here because I'm y'all. I'm sorry. These last two episodes of Sister Wives and Whitney just sent me
Mhm.
clean over the cliff. Yeah, we're just gonna call it thing a thing. I mean, this was like we spent they gave a whole segment of the show about a white sports car that Cody is selling. That deserved a whole segment. A whole segment.
But you know, when I was watching, I was like, wow, he had 3 vehicles to sell. And I was like, wow, 3 whole vehicles. Why would one person need 3 vehicles? And then I was like, how did he get 3 vehicles? Whose money? If you really think about the wasted cash.
Mm-hmm.
And why is he selling 3 vehicles all of a sudden? Is he
At one time.
strapped for cash? Or are certain sister wives not contributing to the family kitty? All of these things went through my head. Not so much like he couldn't make it fit and putting a square into a circle and all, and like his weird friend who he married last season, like I was just wondering why he had 3 vehicles to sell and why was he selling 3 vehicles all of a sudden.
Right. Let's start with the Zoom call. Like with all the pretty much everybody on the line but Mary.
But Mary, Leon, and all of Robin kids.
Robin's kids.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. If she says that her kids are always being excluded, why they wasn't on this call?
And, and my whole thing, can we stop having Aurora on this show looking real pitiful all the time? I don't like that because it's emotionally manipulative, like, but no one's falling for
Mm-hmm.
it. And two, it's you're not seeing your mother for what it is, and I know that's your mother. I mean, you're going back your mama. I get it, but don't sit there and say that your mother is like the main champion for positive relationships
Mhm.
with the family when she's the one who's been the most separate.
Mhm. Yeah.
When-
But
So
we were talking earlier about the brainwashing. There's a little bit of that going on with those kids because to me they don't seem emotionally at the level of their age, their biological age. Like they seem very immature and
true.
I don't know, I don't even want to say naive or delusional. That might be
And
a little
also,
harsh.
but we have to also understand like they've kept them very sheltered. It appears like they keep a tight leash on those kids. That's just my take on it.
Hi Tracy.
Does that make
Um
sense? Because if you see, 'cause
mhm,
when we look at the other kids, they seem like very social, even just
mhm.
amongst each other, very social, very inviting, very um. They have like a more well-rounded view of the world. That's the way it comes across to me. They see even when they're upset,
Mhm.
even when those kids are upset, they have a brightness to them. They have a life to them. But
Mhm.
when you look at Cody and Robin kids, it's very like I don't want to say depressed, but it's very muted. That's the only word I can come up with. It's very just like, oh, woe is me. We always sad, stuff like
They're
that.
always victims.
Yeah.
They have a very victim mentality, but with the other gang, like the OG kids, even Mary's child, Leon or
Hmm.
Leo, is it Leo or Leon?
Leon.
Leon. Okay, so I heard another person calling them Leo, and then I started doubting myself. So sorry, y'all. But I think you have to give credit to who raised the OG kids. Christine. Christine, she raised those kids. And that's why they are so free to make up their minds and what paths they want to go in their lives. They're independent, they're well spoken, they're not rude, and they stand up for their moms. So you look at Robin's kids and they're just as victimized as she wants herself to be. And I blame Robin for that. I feel bad for her kids. I really, really do. FM says Christine seems to idolize polygamy. Sometimes people hold way too hard on the good stuff without realizing, and 6 kids later, that's reality. Yep, yep. I do admire Janelle for being accountable and very fair in her comments, especially in terms of Cody and making any kind of effort to reconcile. But she wasn't. I still wonder about her words with regards to being friends with Mary's family and how the first time when she met Mary's boyfriend, it was like, oh, someone that you've known forever, and it just clicked. Bitch, you was married. And
Gosh. Oh, I just had to laugh at that. Well, okay. That's interesting.
then she and Cody going, yeah, we were flirting. What? What? Okay, whatever. But I'm gonna need somebody to give me the dates that she was married to Mary's brother. And maybe they can't say anything about Mary's brother because didn't he just pass from the big C? Maybe that's why, I don't know. Or maybe he just didn't want to be a part of this. And wasn't he so he wasn't polygamous even though he grew up in a again, if he wasn't polygamous, but
Okay.
Mary went into it, why is it that the boys are not going into it but the girls are? Isn't that
Uh,
interesting? Did anybody
okay.
else cringe when they were showing the flashbacks talking about how they lived in a trailer that the walls? Oh, yes. We'll get to that.
Okay. Here's what it says. Here's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
When Janelle and Cody, who are more like siblings, first met, she was married to Mary's brother, Adam, whom she had been with since 1998. It took years for Janelle to join the Brown family, but she finally did in 1990, shortly after getting a divorce from Adam. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But you're right. I was friends with Cody's. I was friends with Mary's family before
Okay.
I married Cody.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
Okay. You know, I, the
they were
man,
friends. They were
they're
friends. Okay.
friends. Okay. FM says, can you imagine being 19 and your husband's married to other women, let alone any age, having to hear that, and then children come into existence? Well, they had a lot of rules when the show started from the beginning. Now they drink wine and show skin. Well, they haven't been in the church for years. Didn't they discuss that on the road trip?
Yes.
They haven't been in the church. Robin's children aren't any better at smiling than their mom. Oof. Well, Tracy says she's just like her mama, sour face drinking the Kool Aid. Oh, y'all are a mess. Aurora and Brianna look like literal hostages in their interviews. It's creepy and unsettling and deeply sad. What are they doing to those girls? Zombified. Lena. Oh, Lena, but don't you think one looks worse than the other? Like the oldest one, I don't know their names. I get them wrong. But the oldest one who talks with Gabe, I feel she knows the truth, but she has to sit there because she needs a roof over her head and say what Robin tells her to say. The youngest one, she don't talk to nobody. So she's fully indoctrified, if that's a word. But I think the oldest one knows better and is guilty about it. Just saying. More and more, I see that it's Cody's cult. He got all these women to support him in every way, have his children, raise them, and for and to inflate his ego. Yes, but you notice something else when they was talking about holding the men accountable with all legal marriages and have a stake in the estate and all of that. Did you notice that Cody says that everybody owns 25% of Coyote Pass? And then Janelle says, not really, because him and Robin name is on everything. And with
Right.
his name being on something with Janelle, it ties her stake to his, and then Robin gets a piece of that. So she
Right.
does own nothing outright at all.
All right. Correct.
But then you got Mary saying, well, they said that we were gonna like evenly split it. I hope that's still the case. And I'm just like, wait, what?
Mm-mm.
Hoping? Mary, you are a businesswoman. Wake up. Unless, of course, you've made a charitable contribution.
And I hate to say
And,
this, but when it comes to money, family will do you wrong first.
yeah,
Sorry, that's
yeah.
just the truth.
Oh, how are those kids going to survive in the real world? I don't know. But once the McMansion goes into foreclosure, um, I hope that they can live underneath those beautiful paintings. But whatever. Robin's oldest child is very childish and immature. I think she has them that way so that they can come across as needy and need to be taken care of. Because Cody's opinion, once you 18, get out. Bye-bye. They need a place to live. And Robin obviously needs child support, I guess. Victim mentality. Um, hey y'all, glad you're live today. Happy birthday, Ryan! Happy birthday! Oh my god! Say happy birthday to Ryan, y'all. Oh my god, happy birthday. You're 16 or are you just legal 21? Just checking. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, I'm so far back in the chat, y'all. What else happened? They go by either Leo or Leon.
So we saw that
Okay, so I didn't make a mistake. Thank you, Lena.
there's a Zoom call. We find out that McKelty and Mary don't speak. Then Janelle and Christine go to the brother's house in I think it's Woods, Idaho. They have a good
Mhm.
conversation, and I do like the fact that these two are very open and honest. Like for Janelle to sit there and talk about openly about the financial situation, what she's in, this, and that. I'm like, you really opened your eyes because you wouldn't have said this two seasons ago. Not at all. And when I watch them converse, they feel very like open, genuine conversations, like two friends, two sisters talking. But when I
Mm-hmm.
see segments with Cody and Robin, they feel very contrived, very forced. Like they're watching exactly what they need to say.
Because they're trying, Cody and Robin are trying to spin a narrative. They're trying to pull off that victim card and at the same time blame Christine for the demise of everything. They're not taking any accountability in any part they could have played in the demise of the family. They're
That
basically on their own show.
right. And Janelle and Christine just have fun. Like their segments are very light. Even when they're talking about serious topics, their scenes are
Mm-hmm.
light and fun. When I see Cody and Mary and Robin, it's like, wow, like y'all seem miserable, and you did this to yourself.
But listen, didn't we think that we was gonna see the Coyote Pass with Mary coming to tell uh Robin no more porch? And they didn't show it. And next week, if they show it, it's gonna be like the cliffhanger for the week after that. Like, what are they doing to us? There's not that much content.
No, 'cause here's the thing: if you look at the family, like it's split up, of course. It's so interesting to see how Janelle and Christine move as a unit, right? They're moving on together. They
Mm-hmm.
are moving forward. Yes, we still have Janelle having officially left Cody yet. She is like trying to figure out her finances, which I understand. I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
their families, their unit is moving forward. But if you look at Mary, Robin, and Cody, I'm going to separate them. Look at Mary. Mary is like slowly moving along down the road, trying to move on. But she's still, for some reason, she's still trying to hold on to Cody. I don't understand. Like Christine said, Mary's not even part of the equation. Let's be real.
Mm.
I mean, but Mary is
He said it
she's
too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're moving. But you look at Robin and Cody, they're stagnant. They're stagnant. Like and you can see in the lack of content. Because let's look at the show itself. Who's providing most of the content? It's literally Christine and Janelle carrying the show right now.
Correct. But I feel Cody is auditioning. Like that whole scene with the car, I feel he's auditioning because he has stated that him and Robin is like this and no one can take them apart or separate them. So he needs to like he's auditioning for TLC and production. Life beyond polygamy because he has admitted that he's in a monogamous relationship
Mm-hmm.
with
Robin.
Robin and he wants his best bud from the
Brian.
secondhand car place. I think he's trying to build a life around him and Robin that he thinks that this audience wants to see. I know I sure don't. I want to see Janelle putting on an ATV, but being very careful about it. But yeah, I'm not that into him. I don't know why he seems to think that he's likable. Um, I don't know why he seems to think that he is entertaining. Um, no, no. He has raped, pillaged, squandered, abused, and defiled these women, including Robin. Because look at the depths that she had to go to get somebody to take care of her and her children. She had to get together with curly locks. I just I don't think he should be rewarded anymore. Quite honestly,
I
I
don't think
just
you will, to
don't.
be completely honest, because if you look at, and TLC watches all this footage, they know what they've cut, what they put in. We all know all
Mhm.
that. They can blatantly see like who the star power is on this show, and it's Janelle and Christine. No one cares about Robin and Cody. I don't see like once Christine and Janelle fulfill out their contract and officially leave on the show, it's the end of
Mhm.
the show.
Mm-mm. So okay, so we have the gender reveal is two boys. Um, Cody trying to say there's so much animosity coming at him on the call. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
No,
So who was the people that were not there? Mary,
Mary,
Leon, Audrey, um,
who's Audrey?
Leon's partner.
I forgot their name.
Because
Okay.
remember, Mary considers both of them her kids.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay,
Yeah, so I lump her in as a package. Was
okay.
Gabriel there? I saw Hunter, but I didn't see Gabriel and I didn't see Garrison.
No, they were no. What's the one with the glasses? Gabriel?
Gabriel wear glass? Oh, he do?
Yeah, the one with the longer hair.
He was there? I
Yeah, he was next to
missed it.
Janelle. He was next to Janelle, but it was for a hot second though, if I remember
Oh.
correctly.
Okay, so he was with Janelle. I only saw
Because
Janelle by
because
herself.
Christine said she was
No,
concerned
that
that
was Savannah.
no, that was Gabriel, I think. Because Christine said I was really concerned Gabe and Garrison wouldn't show up, but she was relieved that they did. So they had to be there at
Oh.
some point.
Maybe they was all together at Garrison's house. That makes sense. Okay, so then all of her kids were there. Maddie looked shady as hell on her screen, on her little cube. She wasn't even playing with her father. My God.
No,
Well, look, I hate to say this, but McKelty sounded really sanctimonious, wanting everybody to get together, and yet she got issues. I don't want to hear anything more from McKelty at
right?
all.
Because here's the whole thing though, and you brought this up earlier with McKelty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, girl, like you, it's just you gonna have an issue. How you gonna have an issue with Mary? I don't know what the issue is with her and Mary. Could be more.
Well, it could be like uh, physicality issues. Remember
Okay.
Peyton, I think, said something about it
Oh,
on a on remember Peyton had that big interview with John Yates and
I didn't
said,
watch it. I didn't watch it.
oh, I didn't watch it either, but everybody was talking about it because he said that Mary had some physicality issues with the children's and it
Okay.
was extreme. It was extreme.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think she was caught up in it.
Mm,
And apparently Robin recognized the issues because of her previous experience with physicalities and really, bolstered McKelty and protected her and said it was okay and woo 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 woo, whatever. But Robin, that was your friend's sister wife. Okay, girl.
I have a question. Isn't it kind of funny that when you say it like that, that was your friend? I'm like, okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Mary was Robin's friend and was Janelle's
Mm-hmm.
sister-in-law. It's just so
Mm-hmm.
weird. It's just so
Yeah.
odd. So it's
Yeah.
Mary's fault, basically.
Yeah. And don't forget, it's because of McKelty that Mary was not included in Second Christmas.
True.
So, and it could also be why, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a whole mess. A whole mess. So then we have a segment back on HGTV in Patwan or wherever the hell in Utah it is. She trying to get her shed together. This is Mary. Mary was traveling. Mary has no idea that there's a baby reveal going on. I don't know. I don't. Mary's off in her own world, and she's still wondering about being bonded, spiritually bonded to Cody, and what her next step is. Girl, bye, bye.
What?
Um, mhm,
Yeah, and Mary's just so weird. And how they edit Mary,
mhm,
it makes her look very inconsistent. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to see. I would love to see Mary in real time and see what she has to say, because on one hand, she's tired of Cody. You know, she understands that it's over. She's ready to move on, blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. But then you see her in other segments when she's pining away at Cody. So I'm like, are y'all just showing Mary edits out of order, or what is the real deal with her?
At first, I thought it was the talking head confessional versus the segments,
Right,
right? But lately it's the segments where she's yo-yoing, and I don't know if it's because they've been chopping up the season so badly, going back in time and then forward and back in time between the months. I think they've done a disservice to Mary. I really do. In both her, I can accept the talking head, because the talking head
right.
is months, or probably in this case a whole year later. But uh, even in her in the moment 2022 like recordings, it's now very yo-yo-ish, and I have a general distrust of the editors of this show.
Agreed. I'm trying
Even
to think.
HGTV wouldn't show that. Oh, Tracy, Cody ain't spiritually bonded to anyone, just bonded with Robin's Victoria's Secret. Unfortunately, I think it's Janelle that's bonded with the Victoria's Secret, because she had to pay that off. Next we see Christine having a farewell dinner for Isabel, who's going back to North Carolina. They asked Isabel if she would ever like come back to Utah, and she said yes, because she has a lot of family there. And then it takes a nosedive, courtesy of Tony, talking about his mother-in-law's dating life, and McKelty, even grosser, saying that she needs to get back in touch with her body, and truly sitting at that table listening to this.
I was like, okay. And Christine's like, this is a going away party for Isabel. Why are we talking about my dating life?
But did you hear Tony saying, like, is Tony trying to get a show or something?
He's like, he
Go
told
on there as
you,
Tina.
right, and he's like, you need to get your skills back. I was like, okay. I was like, damn.
He wants her to be a whole on slut. Because first he telling her sample all the ice cream flavors.
Right,
And now he telling her to go incognito.
right. You could be T. Well, he said you could be T, and I'm like, well, you're not wrong.
Well, Ryan want to know, does production not like Mary? Do anybody like Mary? I think that's the better question. Because
I
you
think,
see how she behaves. Like, can you imagine how she behaved with production?
mm, but the thing is, I think they're more pro Christine and Janelle than anti Mary.
Mm-hmm. Taco Tony trying his best. Yep. And I'm just not interested.
I mean, I guess he understands that McKelty ain't pulling her weight, so he got to make up for it.
The two of them could go sit at the back of the bus. I'm not interested.
Yes, Ryan. Tony does like his screen time. He
Mm-hmm.
shows out for the camera. Let's be honest. He shows out for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at him, but I'm like, Tony, not in this situation. Not at your young
Mm-hmm.
daughter-in-law's going away. No, no, yeah, daughter, sister-in-law, not your
Mm-hmm.
sister-in-law's. Going away party with your other younger sister-in-law at the table. That's just no.
But again, we need to hear more from Aspen's husband Mitch, because he's like, I would be more concerned about the people that you're getting in contact with, and recommends her to go to what, Farmers Only.
Not farmers only.
Look, I think that's Christine's speed at this point. It's not until she meet David where he, blow out her back and turn her out, you know, that she realized what she was missing.
True.
But yeah, that was a really awkward scene, but
Um,
okay.
so Ryan,
Mhm.
yes, Tony is a gamer. Now,
That's not a real job. She said
who
real
his
job.
who his
She said,
contract is with, I have no clue. 'Cause I haven't heard of him on the
mm,
gaming scene, but I'm not really too much over there. But McKelty does, from what I understand, McKelty does quite well on Patreon.
mm. We'll see if she still does well when the season's over.
Cody and Robin choose to finger point are really pushing this victim narrative. Yes. It's
Mm-hmm.
such a disservice to their own children. I mean, at this point, I think with those two, they're so far in this, they have no other choice. They've got to play it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Mitch does speak wisdom, Tracy. I would click on you, but I'm opening up a candy, so I'm sorry. Candies
Yes, he
before
does.
clicking.
And that film says Cody and Robin will be extremely lucky if their kids grow up and still talk to them. A lot of family relationships are affected over time. That's natural, but they have a TV show. Oh, yeah, see, this is all on
Mm-hmm.
TV.
But
Yes,
Cody and Robin would say that the edit didn't serve their purpose. So,
I mean, it's kind of hard to say that when the behavior is consistent.
oh my God, you have to say allegedly gamer. Child. Is that a profession?
Yes, because there are some
You keep
players in the
saying
game.
that, but he's not.
Well, you asked me if it's a real job, and I'm explaining. What I was going to
And
say
no,
is that
do it got
there are some
benefits?
some of the gaming companies, yes, because they're actually some players who are contracted by the companies, so they're normally they're under exclusive contracts, I think it is, for a set
Hmm.
amount of time, and I think some of the best gamers make up to seven figures.
That's a very small percent now, but okay. Tony not in that.
You just
Because
asked me if it's a real job.
if he was, his butt would not be on this show acting so thirsty and tossing his hair like Fabio
I mean, hey, like when you have screen time, you can audition, you have to take it.
and peddling the weight loss drink.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, he's trying to get all his revenue streams active. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mad at that. No, man,
Mm-hmm.
we have to realize he's got him and what, four other mouths to feed. Come on now, you gotta respect somebody's hustle.
Okay. Next, we see
Oh
Janelle.
yes, yes, Janelle did have Cody's first kid, and that was Logan. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because remember, Mary had the fertility issues, so that's why Janelle came in there and beat her to the punch. Okay, so next we see Janelle and Christine getting ready to go on a road trip, girls trip. Ooh, ooh. They're going to Idaho to visit
yes.
Christine's brothers, Stephen and Levi, and they're gonna drive ATVs. And Janelle looked like she needed a break, like she needed to get away. But who was watching Savannah? You think
It's
she went
like,
over to the McMansion?
isn't Savannah like what, 17, 18 now? Yeah, no,
Yeah, but no, at that time she was still in high school, so you can't leave her alone.
true.
You can't leave her alone. Where she was at? Who house she was at? Why didn't they say that? Okay. Let's see. In the car, they do have a really good discussion. They bring up the situation where Robin said you cannot be spiritually divorced until you have sex with somebody else. And Christine said that she felt that Robin interpreted Christine's leaving as devaluing her union, and she asked Christine if she felt that way, and Christine was like, nah, that has nothing to do with my union with Cody. And then they were like, well, I'm not even in that church. Well, Christine said, I'm not even in that church anymore, so it doesn't matter. I don't need somebody to release me if I'm not in the church. Because that was another topic that they said that Robin was saying, you got to
Yes,
go through all these different stages to be released from your spiritual bond. And she's like, but if I'm not in the church, then I release myself. Poof. And it doesn't devalue anybody else's joining. And that was an interesting conversation. And then we hear that Janelle says that Cody hasn't been to her house in 10 months. And I was taking that as in like doing a sleepover, not
okay.
visiting the premises, but like, uh doing his every fourth night visit or whatever. And
Right.
it's been, oh, I think it's been more than 10 months, to be quite honest, because I don't think he's been at Janelle's place since the trailer. And he spent like all of one night there.
That's what I was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had to take into account the COVID situation, so we know he wasn't over there.
No. And then
Remember?
he spent
Yeah.
one night in the trailer, or the fifth wheel. In the fifth wheel, he spent one night in there, and that was like post pandemic, but he didn't like it.
He hated it.
So it was 2 years away during COVID. He spent one night with her in the trailer. I think it's longer, because I remember when she got the apartment, the smaller one, after she put the trailer up. He came in there. He was like, "There's no room for me." I don't think he spent the night there either.
No. He didn't.
So I think 10 months is I don't think it was enough. But okay, I'm not up in that bedroom, so I don't know. So we'll go with 10 months. And Cody says the same thing. He hasn't been to the house in 10 months, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been around. Bitch, yes it do. Yes it do.
Let me go back real quick. Let me
Mm.
go here. FM says she offers nothing to anyone. Everyone will be better off if she disappeared because she's never going to take accountability for anything. And at least she wouldn't be abusive anymore. Well, I'm assuming that's Mary.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof.
Ryan says Savannah's
Oof.
practically grown.
She
Tracy
is.
Tracy liked the scene with the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
FM said F. McKelty, she's clearly got stunted adolescence as well. In my opinion, she's only staying in contact with Robin and Cody because she's competitive about her father's attention and a paycheck. Yeah,
She's
I agree.
riding both sides of the fence in
Fans,
case one of them get a show.
right.
She won't be on it.
She's going to be on whoever side wins, basically, is what it comes down to.
Her and her boogly eye husband. Ugh. Uh,
Oh,
10
Auntie
months
said,
plus 2 years.
Auntie, Auntie says, I got an ATV, love it.
Mm-mm.
Auntie's also been spirit divorced many times.
Oh, Jesus.
Was he? Ryan says, was he ever at the apartment when where he insulted her Charlie Brown Christmas tree? No, he didn't feel comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
10
Remember
months
when
plus
she
two
first
years.
moved in? Remember when she first moved in? And remember when he went into the bedroom and he was like, "I don't even have a nightstand. I can't put my book here." It's like, where am I going to go?
But remember, wasn't that the whole same? Wasn't that the same apartment where he was mad that she moved into it because he wanted her to rent?
He
So he
wanted
wasn't
her
staying.
he wanted her to
He
buy Christine
His
house.
house. That's okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was. So he
Mm-hmm.
was already mad about that. So he wasn't going to even stay there. He found any excuse not to stay there because it wasn't what
He
he wanted.
he complained that there was no place to put his book by the bed, and his shoe lamp. Remember, it was a boot lamp or something
Yes.
he was complaining about. He ain't never stay in that small apartment.
Mm-mm. Because
You
the
know,
thing about it, it wasn't that much bigger than the fifth wheel. And he complained about the fifth wheel.
he yes, the fifth wheel. He didn't like the dogs in it, and he didn't like the shower there because remember that one time he stayed over, he ran back to the McMansion to take a bath,
Mm-hmm.
so he couldn't shower in the fifth wheel.
Auntie agrees with you about more than 10 months. Ryan
I'm
said,
just saying, based on this shoddy editing and my
right.
recollection from last season, that that's a very interesting figure they came up with for 10 months.
It was interesting how Christine and her saw her polygamous childhood as great, but her brother didn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least Steve. Levi didn't say too much because I
Yeah,
guess he was the second wife, the ones upstairs.
right.
So he wasn't gonna say nothing against his mom's. Mm, what else? Janelle admits that she doesn't think she's even married anymore. And Christine is listening to all of this and doing somersaults internally. Because she walking that delicate balance, she says. But she listening to everything that Janelle putting down. And when they was at the table with Christine's brothers, and she was saying that make the marriages legal and give them rights to the husband's estate and all of that. Um, Christine was like, "You hear what I'm saying? What's she saying? You hear it?" I was like, "Yeah, girl, I hear it loud and clear." She divorced, but
Right.
she's trying to get her settlement. Mm-mm. She's trying to get her settlement. So I don't know. Um, I got to rent out. It's best to rent month or weekly. Asking because my best one renters left. Mm? Oh, one of your best renters left. Um, I don't know. I like to lock them in for a year if I have a rental property, but it just depends on who you're renting out to.
Right.
If your market is better catered to tourists, you might want to set up like an Airbnb or a Vrbo situation. If you don't get much tourists in your area, I would go for like a year lease and lock them in for the long term, get security deposits and all that jazz. It just
Yeah.
depends.
It just
Mm-hmm.
depends. No, that's great. Like me personally, if you're looking for weekly or monthly,
Mm-hmm.
I would go monthly. But you take weekly. You take weekly, but you bump up. You take the
Mm-hmm.
monthly rate divided by 4, but then you bump it up and add a premium on top of the weekly.
And don't forget include like any um property taxes on the place, insurance, all of that, maintenance. It all adds up. And down here in South Florida, I know when I was renting many moons ago, they were shifting from 12-month to 13-month rental agreements, which was quite interesting. I don't know. Um, Next we see um, Janelle saying that she don't feel married. She feels divorced or separated. Divorced and separated are two totally separate things. So you need to figure out what you are, Janelle.
Right.
But she's waiting for the Lord to tell her about the spiritual divorce thing because that is more important than a legal marriage in their religion. Um, Janelle is not interested in dating. She has too much work and she doesn't want to do it. I just think she's not ready yet.
No, she's not there yet,
Mm-mm.
and
Um,
she doesn't have her money yet. That too.
no,
I think that's the big. I think
no.
to be completely honest, I think that's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
piece of this is that she needs. Yeah, she
Mm-hmm.
feels she needs to stay around to make sure she gets her money.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. They also discussed like how life was before Robin got there. Like they used to do Friday night dinners. Um, a family day on Saturday, and when Robin came in, all of it changed, and Cody needed to be over by Robin. They letting all of the secrets out. Janelle says that Robin was a separate entity from them. Cody kept on being over there. Well, Chrissy says that Cody just found his soulmate and that's who he wanted to be with. And she didn't want to do things together with the rest of the family. Damn. Um, Janelle says that a plural husband has to grow beyond himself, and Cody did not try hard enough to do that. Because when he did encounter his soulmate, what he should have done was try to grow beyond that so that he can emotionally include the other wives in the equation. And but listen, I kind of blame the women for this because Cody's a fucktard. And Cody was not brought up in this religion. And I feel like he got into the religion to appease his massive ego. And, you know, he might have been a serial cheater if he was like in the regular monogamy world.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like authorized cheating. And it's just convenient because she in the same fucking house. You just go from door to door to door. And wasn't it him who said last year it's all about ego, baby? This is just what it is. And y'all picked the wrong husband to herd all of y'all wives. Y'all should who's the other the braggers, brokers,
Dargers.
runners, dargers. There you go. What he said. Y'all should have hooked up with him. Y'all should have hooked up with him. or that other guy, that guy from Seeking Sister wife. Um,
Oh, the Utah.
yes,
I can't remember the name,
the
but
ones
I
that got
don't
kicked off for
because
not being spicy enough
right
because they were real polygamous.
that too.
But you should have selected someone like that, someone who had the emotional capacity, who wasn't a narcissist, who actually could care for somebody beyond themselves. Cody don't
And
care
the,
about none of y'all.
with the Dodgers, he married sisters. So I mean,
I know.
that's even an extra layer.
Mm-hmm.
But those men seem more like leaders and someone you
Mm-hmm.
could trust and believe in to take care of you. Where Cody's not that way.
No, no. Cody's a con man. He has conned these women out of everything that they have, and he has done nothing to contribute to this family. Nothing. Well, except children. I'll give him that. Anyhow, let's see. Janelle says that she does not miss Cody or Robin and hasn't even spoken to Mary in a year. Wow. And she said the only people that she would hurt to lose would be Christine and her kids. And Christine made a really good point. Christine said, we're the only part of this plural family, meaning her and Janelle and their combined children, that actually stayed together as a plural family. That is crazy.
Not really. And to me, it makes complete sense. And here's why: it's because, like they always remark, they raised their kids together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a huge bond. That's not easily broken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying,
True.
like when you go through being pregnant at the same time, giving birth at basically at the same time, and there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of trust that goes into allowing another woman to help raise your children. Robin never had that trust, and a huge bone of contention.
Well, look, Janelle had to go out and work and support her wife, Christine, who was raising them kids.
But still, even when women, even in that situation, most women I know, 99.9%, don't want anyone else trying to tell them how to raise their kids or raising their kids,
Mm-hmm.
even their own parents. No. So yeah, they did what they had to do, but they still had to have trust in each other. Like, I'm trust. Yeah, I'm going here working, but I'm trusting you to treat my kids as well as you treat your own, and that's what happened. And with Robin, like you guys said, and on the show, being a separatist from the family, that trust was never built. That trust was never there. So from
Mm-hmm.
that point, 'cause I remember Christine saying, was the last episode where she distrusted Robin from the gate because Robin wanted to be separate. So
Mm.
with them two, there was never trust. Zero. Nada. Mm-mm.
Okay, so Ryan says, was there a favorite before Robin, or did Cody treat them equally? And Sunway
Equally.
says, wait, hold on. Thank you for the heads up on the trailer and the debut, the premiere for Thousand Pound Sisters. So Sunway agrees with you that he did treat them equally. But I still think no, because financially, Mary got the same amount of money as the other wives who had 6 children and she only had one. And then Ryan wants to know, was Leon included in the raising of the other children? Mary kept her separate because Mary kept her in a private school. And I think Christine homeschooled the dozen by herself until they could get up to public school. But the regular kids went to public school. And remember when they was in Vegas or about to move to Vegas, wasn't Leon crying saying that they wanted to go back to their private school? Remember? I swear it was her.
It
She
seems
was,
familiar.
yes, because sorry, she was still a girl back then. I'm not being disrespectful, but Mariah, I remember a scene, and I swear they was in Vegas, They had just moved there. I don't think they had the houses in the cul-de-sac. I think they was renting. But Mariah was crying, saying that she didn't like the public school, that she wanted to go back to
Oh,
her private school,
Leah said it was a church school,
a
not a
church
private
school.
school. Oh, okay.
Okay, I knew it wasn't like regular school. Because the other kids was in public school. So I am I remembering correctly? Help me, y'all. Attended private school, a church school. Okay. All right, Leah. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. So I was kind of close. Um, but I think Mary and Robin have a similar mentality about separating themselves to make themselves more important than the others. For Mary, it was head wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she put forth she needed a third of whatever was coming in. She needed the same as the other women, even though the other women had more mouths to feed. And I would have distributed that money differently. They had different needs. I'm sorry. But then you had Robin, who took it to another level. Mary was doing isolationism in the same house, but Robin took it to another level by just being totally separatist
Right.
all by herself.
Let's see. Robin came in. Robin came into it that way, though. See, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the key, though. I think that's really the key.
Because
Mary,
that's how she grew up with her mom.
Mary
Mm-hmm.
was already there, and she was like, "Okay, I'm head wife, yada yada yada, so I can do
Mm-hmm.
this." But Robin came in like the gate. But it goes back to what you have always been saying. Robin came in with the plan to have her and her kids taken care of, and that was her
Wait,
only goal.
Tracy, did
So
we miss something from you? Please, if we missed a
no,
question from you, we
it
didn't.
was something between her and her colleague.
Oh, okay.
I went and okayed the comment, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yes, so Robin coming in that way from the gate of wanting to be separate because she wanted to make
Mm-hmm.
sure she was getting hers and her kids was. That's what it came down to. It's
Mm-hmm.
her. She was solely focused on her and her little family.
And not only that, to get more than what the rest did. And
Hmm.
what the rest had wasn't good enough for her kids. And on top of that, she had to get legal wife status. Hers was multi tiered separatism and favoritism. It was crazy. She totally demolished this family. And
Right.
Janelle and Christine confirmed that on the road trip, saying all of those things that she did when she arrived in the family.
She came in
Um,
with she came. Let's be honest. She came with a divide and conquer
mhm,
mentality, and she did it. But now
mhm.
she's still miserable, though.
Well, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, what do you think about Janelle's theory? I know we've gone long, y'all. But what do you think about Janelle's theory about making all of the wives legal to get a portion of the estate? How will that work? I mean, how how would that work?
Basically, they would all be equal, is what it comes down to. But see, the way it would work is that everything how it would all be equal. So basically, what would
Mhm,
happen is if they were all legal wives, what it
mhm,
does is say like you know how they were putting all the money into the kitty, right? All those
mhm,
checks, you know how all in the family account, right?
mhm,
The way it will work legally is that they each have a legal standing to what's in the pot. So versus if everything goes into one pot, you know, Cody and Robin have control of how to disperse it because they're legally married. But if all the wives are legal, then legally they all have a right to say how the money where the money goes, who gets what. It's equal. It's like clearly equal. Versus
but he's
you hoping,
embezzled. He's embezzled from the kitty.
of course, he's embezzled, but they don't have with him being in sole control. He made it so he doesn't have to share the financials with the wives, which is how they got caught up. It's how they got caught up. because when you have skin in the game and you're legal, you're not signing any documents. No one can put anything in your name. With these wives, since they had to stay secret, he could put a whole bunch of stuff. He could put their name on a whole bunch of stuff they not know it.
Mm-hmm. Ryan says that they would need prenup agreements, but Tracy got another point here. You can't divide zero.
Mm. It
I'm
wouldn't be
wondering why
zero.
he's selling 3 cars.
But Tracy, it technically is not zero because they was getting fat checks. We talked about this last week.
Was.
They was getting fat checks like
But yet they couldn't buy Coyote Pass outright. And had to go to the loan shark. I mean, whatever that person is.
Yes,
private broker, private
private
loan officer.
Yes, private loan officer. Yes, Debbie, private loan officer now. Yeah,
with you.
but like when you look into like the money they were making,
Mm-hmm.
all the adults made 180K each,
and that don't include the multi-level marketing
or the kids' checks
and the books, which the kids never got paid.
Because that article, when I reread the article again, I'm like, this article is so wrong. Y'all just busted them out because you just said the adults got this. When you said like you didn't say the cast, you said the adults. That means the kids have to get paid too.
Ryan says, so how did Christine not have to share the house sale proceeds? Because Cody had to take his name off of her mortgage in order to get the McMansion with Robin.
And it was a deal they made. Basically, Cody got her plot of Coyote Pass.
No. This is before. No.
That was the agreement. No, that was the agreement. That's how Christine got that money.
No. Remember, his name was removed from her mortgage for years. It was shortly after she got it. Cody put his name on it so that he could keep her there. But then when Robin's house went up for sale, the one she was renting in, and remember she was giving so much problem, she was like, no, I want to keep renting. He's like, no, we need to buy. It is because of his greed with the one wife that he did not have to do that with. He forced Robin to buy that house so he could not have his name on multiple mortgages. So he had to remove his name from Christine's mortgage in order to get Robin's mortgage. And then he had to get money from Mary and Janelle in order to get the McMansion. So Christine took his name off and she continued paying her own mortgage. He never contributed to that. All of her mortgage payments were from her account. And then when she decided to leave, it was years later. That happened shortly after because remember, Christine rolled over her money from Las Vegas into her Flagstaff house. She was the first and only one to buy when they got to Flagstaff. Yes. So she was setting that shit up. So she was hoping, I think she was hoping that somebody else would have bought so that she could get his name off of her mortgage. But when it came to Robin, that was the perfect thing. Got his name off the mortgage so that he could get the McMansion. And she continued paying her own mortgage so that when it was time to sell, all proceeds went to Christine. He didn't have a foot to stand on. And that's why when he was telling Janelle, let's get Christine's house, because he wanted his name back on that house.
Here's the breakdown here.
Remember he said it hurt him every time he drove by that house because he lost that house. He didn't care about Christine. He cared about losing that piece of real estate.
Yes, Lisa. After season 14, they only made 150K total because Cody made that deal. TSC cut their money due to bad ratings. It was a huge thing. So here's what happened. I'm on Reddit. Sorry, guys. I had to look this up because it was so convoluted. Because the way the story plays out on the show is that they made a deal.
She wanted to keep the equity of her home. She wanted to keep the proceeds of it. So she was like, I'll give you Coyote Pass. Because I think her plot was paid off.
Right. Christine's house was less than Robin's, but the family did help her with the down payment. She made every mortgage payment on her own. It sounds like for Robin's
Mhm.
house, they used family money, proceeds from Janelle's
Yes.
Vegas house, and proceeds
Yes.
from Mary's Vegas house.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find a little bit something else.
And they still had to go to the creative lender to get that.
Private loan officer. Um.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yes,
Oh,
Cody wanted Christine to give him the proceeds from her sale of her Flagstaff
yes.
home so that he could pay
Right.
off Coyote Pass. And she was like,
Right.
bitch, no. And that's how she wound up. She couldn't give him the Coyote Pass property that had her name on it. And she wound up selling it for $10 so that she could keep her money from her home. Listen, if anybody's real estate agent license paid off, it was Christine. Christine was working that shit from Vegas.
So this Reddit thread, guys, this is an r/sister wives, and it's really good. It gives you people are giving their opinions on this, but it gives you a pretty good breakdown and of how it actually played out. Yeah, because Christine's house was less than Christine's house. They said was 400K. Robin's was 900.
And Ryan, he also hates her because she outsmarted him, and that's stuck in his craw.
So yeah, basically, like Christine paid them back after she sold her house.
Paid who back?
The family. That's what they're saying in the thread. So even though the family paid, helped her with the down payment, once Christine got the proceeds, she just basically repaid that money back. That way, she has no other ties to the family but the kids. So.
But yeah.
So, but somebody said she didn't pay the family back. She gave up her portion of the Coyote Pass property for the exchange. Okay,
she kept the proceeds from the sale of Flagstaff, and then she gave up. She said it's basically equal what I'm giving up for Coyote Pass if you let me keep my house proceeds.
That's what it was.
But because she couldn't do the like you couldn't say instant swap, that's why she had to sell it for $10.
Yeah. I need to go through this thread like when I have more time. This is a good thread. It gives a good breakdown in a way you can read and understand it.
Yep. But she was working that out from Vegas. She was planning that shit from Vegas. And Cody's a dog. Cody said, all the wives, remember back in the day, he said, it's the husbands that don't own everything. Everything is in the wives' names.
Right.
But he put his name on everything. He has a spider's web full of deceit with these women. Full of deceit. It's just ridiculous. Oh my God. Anyway, y'all, that was basically the episode. Cody lying, saying that everybody owns 25% of Coyote Pass. That's a lie. Janelle says that her name is not on anything by herself. It's all linked in with everybody else. And Mary is just like, feels that despite the problems of the family, she thinks that it'll be divided up equally between the four of them. Christine said, one of the only reasons why Janelle is still with Cody is because she has nothing in her name. This is financial abuse at its finest, y'all. This is so sad. So sad.
And this is what happens when you trust the wrong person.
Yes. Yeah. But we shall see, y'all. That was the episode. As nothing burger as it was, we still find a way to talk about this crap for over an hour. But we have Whitney coming up next, My Big Fat Fabulous Life. If you're interested, hang around a little bit with us. We're gonna flip things over and then talk about Whitney. That should be a quick thing because it was boring. It was boring.
And I wanted to point out something about
Mm-hmm.
the content they tried to pass over, but it's okay.
Yeah, this is true. Lisa Rose, 18.
Yes.
Anything in Cody's name also belongs to Robin. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the situation that Janelle is trying to unravel herself out of. And it's sad. And then he has put Janelle's name on the properties that were not paid off to boot.
Exactly.
It's just so shameful. So shameful what he and Robin have done. And for what? But anyway, Janelle, I highly recommend a whole yard sale over at the McMansion before you burn that place down. But that's just my vindictive opinion. Jamal, any final thoughts on this stupid program?
No, we are good to go.
All right, y'all. Join us back here in a couple of minutes to talk about My Big Fat Fabulous Life with Whitney and her family. They're going to Switzerland, y'all. Until next time.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Bye.